to ensure to promote the protection of rights and welfare of children. Stakeholders, it could be our donors, it could be our media players, it could be the trade industry, that could be helped, so on and so forth. The second objective.
Sorry, Felicitas. I think we are getting some very background noise. Please, participants, mute your microphones, please. Amandine, please mute your microphone. Okay, thank you. Felicitas, continue.
Thank you. The second objective is that of information sharing. There are some of us who are doing great work and who have best practices in terms of the interventions we have on the ground insofar as children, adolescents, and young people is concerned, and in the various sectors, whether it's education, it's health, it's welfare, it's protection. But these needs to be shared. We need to also be able to research, and we facilitate that this be shared within the CSO forum, but also across with the committee and with countries as well, so that we can improve on the implementation of the charter. Thirdly, we want to contribute to first the building of civil society organizations to look into issues of the charter and its mechanisms. We know that it's not all of us who are aware of the 48 provisions within the charter and how we can facilitate communication between ourselves as a country or ourselves as a civil society organization and the committee itself. So we want to ensure that capacity building of civil society organizations is done. And that is why you would find that in many of our civil society forum sittings, we do have the committee as part of the agenda, whether as the committee members themselves or as the secretariat of the committee, so that we can continuously be updated and fully understand some of the latest directions or approaches that they are utilizing. The fourth objective is that of lobby member states to respect and implement the provisions of the charter. We know that there are still some member states that are not reporting. There are some that haven't signed certain provisions within the charter. And these are member states that we want or we should be targeting to ensure that they can respect and implement these provisions. Lastly, we want to contribute to the development of policies, the development of strategies, and also carry out some of the actions, whether these actions are coming as a result of concluding observations from member state reports or they're coming from researchers that can enhance the implementation of the charter, but also to supervise the implementation itself at country level. The CSO Forum as a structure, we have two levels of governance or operation. The first level is that of management committee. We have a committee that leads the strategic direction of the forum, and this is the committee that also advises the Secretariat. And currently we have chairperson coming from Southern Africa region. We have the vice chairperson coming from the North region, and we have the treasurer coming from the Eastern region, and we have the secretary actually coming from your region in Central Africa. And then we have Plan International, Save the Children, and Gracia Machel as donors or Pan-African organizations as part of the structure. We then have the Secretariat, the people that are responsible for the day-to-day running of the forum. And this is the structure that makes sure that the forum is alive, is coordinated, and that we actually do what we are set out to do in our mandate. And currently, the Secretariat is PRINSA, assisted by ESRN, and we have since brought in Toto News for the communication component. Now, the reason why we are talking about or giving a synopsis of what the forum is about is simply so that we can appreciate what Central Africa as a region thinks in relation to whether or not, the CSO Forum is known in Central Africa, particularly because we are part of the management committee, and whether, if known, is it known by all NGOs in Central Africa, in the different countries in Central Africa, the community-based organizations that appreciate what they are doing on the ground and how it feeds into the national lookout and the ultimate contribution to the charter and the regional structures. We also want to appreciate through the session today whether we could how we could facilitate for children to participate in the forum at that level of the continent, but also in the forum like today. How do we ensure that children are part of the forum at regional level, but also part of the interventions that we are providing at country level in the different countries that we are in Central Africa. And we also want to talk about how we can embrace technology in fulfilling some of the objectives that we spoke about for the CSO Forum. Yes, right now we are talking, we are meeting together today, and technology is facilitating for us to be in this meeting. But this was merely because of COVID. Perhaps if it wasn't, would have been in Addis in March and going back maybe in November, and it would have met people from Central Africa. But how do we make technology to work for us, such that it can be better and such that we can actually reach the people, everyone, all civil society organizations in Central Africa, and ensure that children can participate as well. As I conclude, it's really important that the 5 regions in Africa ensure that the CSO Forum becomes a platform of repute, that we are visible at national level, we are visible as a regional level, but also that Central Africa is represented at continental level. We want to see more of you on the 3rd of June as we have the main forum, but also to ensure that we become proactive in the things that affect children, and that we meaningfully participate in all the areas that affect children. I know that sometimes civil society organizations, when people are talking about issues of trade or access to medicine, and they're talking to pharmaceutical companies, will then say, but we don't get into that conversation, forgetting that we have issues around under fives and the different vaccines that needs to be availed for that cohort, and how then the pricing then can affect children's ability or access to immunization and things like that. So we need to build our expertise around such areas and ultimately command authority on these very same issues, so that we can be the go-to organizations insofar as issues of children are concerned. We also need to ensure that as we talk issues around child participation, that we are very much alive and we leave issues around safeguarding and protection of children, that we don't just talk, but we practice what we preach, insofar as safeguarding children is concerned, insofar as protecting children is concerned. As industries or as sectors, sometimes we find the ones that are actually violating the rights of our constituents. Now that we're talking child participation, we might find ourselves now having to push that agenda at the expense of protecting these children. And we need to be demanding that safeguarding and protection of children, but we can only demand it if our house is in order, and therefore it starts with us. And we should also facilitate it. Those that are in positions of authority, you can change your policies within your organizations, change policies within the sectors that you are in. Recommend to stakeholders to change their policies as well to facilitate the safeguarding and protection of children. But as we do that, we also need to be innovative and intentional about that child participation agenda, because there are other issues that we need to recognize. On Monday, there were colleagues that were saying, but how do we make sure that children can participate when we know that their concentration span is limited? And that's where innovation comes from. We need to study the constituents and understand what captures their interest and ultimately their participation. Thank you so much, Anita. I think that's the basis of what the CSO Forum is about, and perhaps setting the scene for the discussion with Central Africa region to say, what could ensure that as a region we fully participate, and what are those things that can get us there to achieve the objectives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Felicitas, for that presentation. We are moving on to, we want to hear a brief remarks from our partners. If Save the Children is there, please just make brief remarks. Cleophas?
Yes, good morning. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to make a very brief remarks. I know Doris is online, the director of the Africa Union office, and she will have a chance also to say hello to all the participants. She has not been with us the last two forums, the last two for East and Southern Africa. But just very quickly to set the tone of our discussions today. First of all is to appreciate the CSO Forum Organizing Committee for the good idea of having the regional sessions as well as the CSO Forum online, despite the difficulties and the challenging context that we find ourselves in. For the participants, this is something very important because the three themes that we chose to structure the session around this time around is very relevant to the work that we are doing. As we are all aware, COVID-19 has broken out all across the world. Africa may as yet not have a health emergency related to COVID-19, but its effects have been very devastating on families and communities across the continent. Children are affected, many children are out of school. And considering that in many of our countries, as we are all aware, had humanitarian emergencies before the pandemic, it becomes imperative then for us as CSOs to have very clear discussions and plans about how we intend to mitigate the effects of this, especially on children who are our main focus. So I'm looking forward to us having very good discussions about various ideas, country contexts in relation to COVID-19 and what we are planning as coalitions, as individual organizations to ensure that this does not negatively and irreparably harm children. We are also aware that this year we are celebrating the African Charter at 30. There has been immense progress in terms of children's rights on the continent due to the presence of the African Charter. The African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare has really tried to ensure that issues are implemented.
Cleophas, are you still there? We lost you, I think, in the past.
Yes. Okay. Apologies. Can you hear me now again?
Yes, as you conclude, please. Thank you.
Okay, yes, sorry. As I was saying, if my connection is on and off, it's something that we are facing quite a bit here. So as I was saying, the Charter at 30 gives us as an opportunity as CSOs to examine the progress that has been made, identify various challenges, and engage more with the committee and the Africa Union to make sure that the Charter is implemented accordingly. Lastly is to do with the CSO Forum Sustainability. As we are all aware, we are trying to make sure that the CSO Forum is a sustainable organization that is the first port of call for everybody in terms of information, in terms of actions on children's rights. And to be able to achieve this, we need strong national coalitions, we need strong regional coalitions, and we need much more coordination and information sharing. So I'm looking forward, at least from the Central Africa Coalition, how the coalition is functioning so far, what are the challenges that are being faced, and how can the various partners that are on board help to strengthen the coalition and the network to ensure that they contribute more meaningfully to the continental agenda. Having said that, I wish to, as always, pledge the support of Save the Children towards the CSO Forum, towards the various constituent regional coalitions, and to wish you fruitful deliberations for the next couple of hours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cleophas. I'd like to invite Doris. Doris, please.
Oui, merci beaucoup pour la parole et merci.
Thank you much for giving me the floor, and thank you for the organizers who have, I'd like to thank them for organizing this meeting. I won't be wasting so much time since that Cleophas has mentioned almost everything. So the Central Africa region is a little bit not very well organized, and we hope in future we will be more organized, and with the support of Save the Children, we will be able to work properly. And then I also would like to declare my commitment as well, and for the RDAC, I think it is time not only to talk about what is about the Charter, but also to talk about the issue that affect our region, and I think there's an opportunity to do so by using the CSO Forum. I would like to thank their partners, and then also we are ready to work with them. Thank you very much.
Then I would want to invite Plan International, Selam.
Good morning, Anita. Good morning, colleagues. I also would like to briefly second my colleagues from Save the Children in congratulating the Cso Forum Secretariat and also the regional network in organizing this sub-regional consultation of Central Africa Child Rights Network, RADIAC. I also would like to congratulate our colleagues at Central Africa Child Rights Network in achieving most of the processes that we have been undertaken together with, as an organization, together with Plan International, African Union Liaison Office, and also through the support that we are getting at the country offices of Plan International in the Central Africa region. So as Cleophas has mentioned, as this forum, we would like to highlight, as we have done in the previous two regional sessions, on the achievements and also successes that we have witnessed in attaining the the Charter at 30 in analyzing the different situations of child rights and specifically girls' rights in Africa, and to this specific regional consultation to the rights of children in the Central Africa region. So hopefully we'll have a very fruitful discussion in assessing the Charter at 30. And also, as Cleophas mentioned, it would be crucial to discuss also on the sustainability of the different sub-regional network, in this case the Central Africa network, and how we can also join hands in achieving the vision and mandates of REDIAC. And also I would like to reaffirm Plan International commitment in supporting and joining hands with REDIAC in the promotion and advancement of children's rights in the Central Africa, and also avails its continued support in the process going forward. So wishing you all a very successful deliberation today. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Salam, for those remarks. I wonder if UNICEF is here. Any representative from UNICEF?
No.
Okay. All right. So, colleagues, we had agreed that at the top of the hour at 11 a.m. East African time, we would end this session, and reconvene in 1.5 hours' time. Plan International has organized another event which all of us should attend. So we would want to end this discussion for now, but reconvene. Frank, if you could come in and perhaps give us directions on the timing. I don't want to use Nairobi time. If you could guide us on the timing in the different areas where our partners are located, Congo, Bangui, and all the other cities. Frank, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, go ahead and transition us and let participants know when we can reconvene and the directions to the plan meeting.
Merci beaucoup. Je tiens Madame Anita de remercier.
Thank you, thank you very much. I would like to thank Madame Anita. And also I would like to thank everyone who have done their presentation. And also I thank the children as well. Can you tell him to speak up a little bit? I can't hear him. He's too low.
Frank, please, if you could raise your voice, please. Raise your voice. Yes. The translator can't hear you.
So I was saying, I would like to thank all the presenters. As part of the agenda, we were supposed to start at 9, and for here it was 7 a.m. So right now it is 10. So we are going to end this meeting of Central Africa, and we are inviting all other members who are following us to stay with us. And then we are going to follow a presentation about early marriage of children in Africa. And I will like also to invite everyone and then so I call upon everyone to come back here at 11:30. So you should look at your local time Then at 11:30, we'll be back to follow the presentation of Africa, of the Central Africa.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Frank. Colleagues, we want to end the session now because we want to transition to the Plan International session. If you want to get the link to that session, please reach out to myself or Jennifer or Frank, and let's if you want to attend that session, please reach out to myself, Jennifer, or Frank, and then we can share with you the link to that session. But as Frank says, let's reconvene in 1.5 hours' time. Also, depending on where you are, we will, of course, do a prompt.
Royal Highnesses, I belong girls, boys, and young.
All right. So thank you very much, colleagues and partners. We want to end this session for now, and we will reconvene later. Please join us in the Plan International meeting.